I think it. Right, start.
I'd like to call this meeting to order at 7:04 p.m. And I'd like to take a roll call, please.
Sure. Mayor Pro Tem Hart.
Here.
Trustee Schaefer.
Here.
Trustee Wineland.
Here.
Trustee Smith.
Here.
Trustee Shamp.
Here.
Trustee Stahl.
Here.
All present.
Say. Everybody is present. So I'd like to approve the agenda for tonight. Anybody want to make a motion to do that?
So moved.
Second.
No second. Did somebody already second?
Yeah,
Fine.
I did. Did you hear me on it? She's big. Thanks. All right, I'd like to open the floor for public comment.
Oh,
All those who approve the motion,
sorry.
yeah,
Aye.
say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
You have an agenda. No, you're okay. You came rushing in.
I did.
Here for you.
So anyway, now we're going to approve the agenda for
Very
tonight's. We already did, got that. Public comment.
Yes, we have one on the sheet.
Okay.
Where's the sheet?
Private.
Is it? Do you want me to read the
Okay.
comment statement?
Go ahead, hon. We'll get it together.
No, you're good. I just got out of the gym, so I'm all shaky. I'm Tabitha. I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you for everything, getting the bar up and running. Well, we're kind of up and running. I came here tonight to ask if I can probably get email clarification, but we just got the liquor license kind of figured out. So
Good.
that's,
Okay.
yeah, we're making progress. I did realize that now I'm on the board to get approved on the 10th is what they're saying. So that's a little bit a longer delay than what I anticipated since I've been paying rent since January. The one thing I wanted to ask is about rules for venues. I have a lot of people asking if they could use the bar, but I don't know the rules with liquor since I don't have the license yet. And so that's why I'm here in front of you guys. If the town has something that I can resource so I can figure out how to, like there's a 60th birthday coming up and some other stuff that's important to a lot of people. So I told them I'd come here tonight and ask what I can do as a host and what the laws are and stuff like that. So that's why I'm here tonight, and I'm really excited to have everybody see the place. We've been cleaning it up and it's
That's what I
looking
heard.
really pretty. So I didn't find any gold or anything. I was hoping I was gonna find like some treasures and stuff, but found a big mess. But other than that, it's cleaned up and we're
Sure, it's
super
beautiful.
super excited to get it set up and up and running. But I did, since there is a little hiccup with the delay, I wanted to see how I could get the staff employed and keep my bills paid. So,
Well, that's out of the purview of the board.
Okay.
Yeah, there's really nothing to the board. You can come and ask the board how to handle. So Sasha and I can work on that with you
Yeah.
tomorrow.
cool.
And
That
get
works.
you
We
some.
will get that figured out.
Cool,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm excited and I just want to come say hi and come see us, so,
Are you gonna have a grand opening?
we are, so, I suck at social media, so I'm learning to get on that, so I'll
Yeah.
start getting a page made and stuff, but we wanted to invite everybody and let you see what we've done and
Good deal.
all that good stuff, so
Yeah.
I appreciate your time, so thank you, I just wanted to bring that up. And I'm excited to hear what you guys do with Airbnb
Congratulations.
stuff, because I can't stay, but I'm gonna watch the recording. so
Okay.
I appreciate it, so
All right.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Is that all we have? Do we have anybody online?
Anybody online for public comment?
We'll move on to approval of minutes from January 27th, special meeting.
Does that qualify as a special meeting? It's not just a.
Anytime it's off the scheduled meeting, it has to be termed as special meeting. Are we reading the minutes right now?
No, I'll
Read
make
the
a
minutes
motion
today.
to approve the minutes from January 27th special
Sorry.
meeting.
David Trevor.
Now we have consent items. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was forgetting about taking a vote. Okay, take a vote, let's take a vote on, approval of the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Disapprove, say no, or nay. Okay. And now we'll move on to consent items, right? And we're going to expenditures for year-to-date 2026.
So it's similar to last time. There would just be a motion to approve the consent items. And then a second, and then y'all would all just vote, and that would approve them. If there's something on the consent items that you would like to actually discuss or get more information on, then you would just let us know, and we'll take it off of the consent item agenda.
Well, then I'll make a motion to approve the consent items.
Second.
Can I please get everybody's signature on this letter?
There had been a motion to approve the consent items in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Sorry, I was writing, I can't do. Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Hearing none, consent agenda items are approved. That's the letter signed when you're ready.
We'll have a practice session.
Hmm?
We'll hold a practice session.
I was saying we need to have her have.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the board letter of support for the 2026 CML Annual Conference
Yeah.
Scholarship.
No,
No,
no, that was in our consent items.
Oh,
Under
okay.
consent
so we
items.
approved it.
Yeah, they'll
Sorry.
just approve.
Oh, I'm sorry, thought we were doing one at a time.
Mhm. Those go together.
Well, I'm gonna learn.
We're here.
So do we want to send this letter around for everybody, because I read it,
Please.
for everybody to sign them? And then general business. Hey,
Let's all walk through this one. for you.
okay,
So general business item A, resolution 2026-02, resolution declaring a vacancy in the office of the mayor and appointing a qualified person to the vacant office of the mayor. As a reminder, the action that you are going to be taking today is basically twofold. One is that you're going to be doing a motion to declare the office of mayor vacant. And a second, the person would second that. And then we'll do a poll vote on that. Once that vote passes, then you would move into the actual motion to appoint a qualified person. Qualified person has to meet the qualifications underneath your code, so they have to be a person who is, a resident in the town, meets the age qualifications, all of those things. It can be any person that you appoint, it can be a person that you are, your motion to appoint a person, that person can be a sitting trustee member. That person can be a resident in the town. That person could be yourself. All right, so there isn't necessarily a nomination process. You're just the nomination is the actual motion to appoint. If that motion to appoint the person, for example, I move to appoint myself as mayor to fill the vacancy in the spot of mayor. If that motion is approved by 4 votes, yes, then that appointment occurs. Does that make sense to everybody? So first step will be the motion to declare the vacancy. That motion is seconded. We'll take a poll vote. which is each person says aye or nay. If that passes, then the position is declared vacant. That's when we move to step 2, which is the next motion, all right? Which anyone can make the motion whenever they're ready. There can also be discussion on that motion. If you want to discuss or say why you think you're wanting to it's not nominate, it's kind of like a nomination, but not really. Why you're wanting that person to be appointed, you can discuss. If anyone has concerns, they can provide discussion before the voting occurs for that motion, the second motion. Just remember, the position of mayor is only going to be vacant until this regular election coming up in November. Not vacant, excuse me. The position of mayor will be appointed and filled only through the end of this year, so it will be up for election in November. So whoever's appointed into that position would only hold it through the end of this year. Okay, just keep that in mind. And then just remember, the office of mayor is usually more involved, takes quite a bit more time. There's a lot more I do behind the scenes with the mayor as well, and corresponding about general direction of the town. They usually are looking at agendas and giving us feedback on what's going on the agenda. So when you're looking to appoint someone, it needs to be someone who's going to be ready to step into those shoes. Because Mayor Howard did a lot behind the scenes. Not in a bad way, it's just as the mayor, they take that kind of officiant role. So just having that in mind. So at this point in time, is there a motion by a member of the board to declare the office of mayor vacant?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Poll vote.
Take a poll vote,
I do that.
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem Hart,
aye.
trustee Schaefer,
Aye.
trustee Wyman. Trustee Smith,
Aye.
trustee Chance.
Aye.
Trustee Stahl.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes. At this point in time, officially, the position of mayor, office of mayor for the town of Kiowa is declared vacant by the board of trustees. Moving to the next part, is there a motion for an appointment of a person to the office of mayor?
I'd like to move to appoint the Mayor Pro Tem as mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I just wanna say that Tammy has really stepped up and I think she's doing a wonderful job. I can't say anything bad about it.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll go to a poll vote.
Mayor Pro Tem Hart,
Aye.
trustee Schaefer,
Aye.
trustee Wyman.
Aye.
Trustee Smith,
Aye.
trustee Chance. Trustee Stahl.
Aye.
The motion passes. And so Mayor Pro Tem Hart, you are now going to be the acting mayor, position of mayor for the remainder of the year.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Thank you. Thank you for putting your confidence in me so I can continue. I'd like to try to, I don't want to fill Terry's shoes, you know, because she did a lot behind the scenes and,
Well, they were her shoes.
exactly.
Fill your own shoes.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You know, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I've been hoping that this is the way it would turn out because I think we need to keep Kiowa moving in a positive direction. Yes. Keep our town going and try to stay positive all year long. Well, thank you. Hey,
Thank you.
I just gotta jump in really quick.
Good.
So now the position of trustee board position is basically vacant. It's not on this agenda, because as we discussed last time, if we I believe the direction is that y'all want us to put the information out to the public to let them know that you're gonna be looking for someone to fill the vacant trustee position. Is that correct? That was the general direction, okay. So we'll proceed with that. So that way on the next meeting agenda, we'll have on there the declaring the position vacant and the filling, hopefully someone comes forward to fill that position. Okay, just wanted y'all to know that.
We should be able to get that out. But it'll go into the paper by next Thursday, so it'll be
Yes.
out for 3 weeks prior to the next meeting, so we should have.
Yeah.
An idea if somebody's gonna come
Was
forward.
there already one application subject?
No, not yet.
No, I thought you said last meeting there was.
Yeah, I had someone who mentioned they might think about it, but I don't know if they'll actually do it, but I will get the public notice put out.
Will will they nominate a mayor pro tem after the general election in November?
No, they can. I would recommend waiting to do the officer position of mayor pro tem until after
The next,
the trustee is appointed. So that way the trustees, the full board of trustees would be able to all have a say on who that officer would be. Now, of course, at the next meeting, if it's kind of starting to become obvious that there's not someone moving in to take that position, then we can go ahead and go forward with doing a vote for the mayor pro tem. So.
On what month?
November, the elections are in November.
But we would, I mean, if someone comes in, we would appoint them.
Prior, yeah,
So mayor pro tem is an officer that's on your board, and in January of every other year. So it's January following your November election. You as a board at your first meeting will take a vote to nominate and appoint one of your trustee members to mayor pro tem officer.
Got it.
Since Tammy was mayor pro tem, that officer position is now basically back open.
Mhm.
And so you could technically move to take an action tonight to nominate and appoint one of you as the mayor pro tem. Or we can wait to next meeting to see if we get that trustee position filled, so that trustee can also be part of the board in nominating who's gonna be mayor pro tem and voting. So that I was recommending to do it that way,
Got it.
so that person's part of the
the
cohesive
board
whole,
unit, yeah.
but that's up to y'all really.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Think so too. Alrighty. So we're gonna move on to resolution 2026-03.
That's me. So that, on the next. Resolution 2026-03, authorizing the town administrator to apply for a local planning capacity grant with DOLA. Amending the town of Kiowa 2026 budget and appropriating funds for such. As we've discussed, we've experienced an increased active interest from developers seeking to pursue projects within our community. While this presents an opportunity for thoughtful growth, it also places significant demands on the town's limiting planning and administrative capacities. We're seeking this local planning capacity grant at the max ask of $250,000. With a required local match of $25,000 over a period of 2 years. This is this would fund a grant-supported community development professional position to help manage development review, infrastructure coordination, interagency communication, and long-range planning efforts in Kiowa. Rather than creating a permanent in-house position with additional overhead costs, we're proposing to issue an RFP for an experienced professional contractor, allowing flexibility, specialized expertise, and cost control. With this approach, it helps ensures development is managed responsibly, aligns with adopted plans, and protects existing residents while the town navigates this period of increased growth interest. So this would be an approval for me to move forward and seek the grant that would fund that position. That position would only exist if we have the grant funding to do so.
So would they be a contract person?
They
or
would.
an employee?
It would be a contracted person, which eliminates the need to
To do the.
budget out
taxes.
benefits and, yeah, payroll taxes and all of that.
Yeah,
That was the question I had after I read it.
Yeah, the match requirement, we qualified for a reduced match. So our match is 10% rather than the 20% that's normally required. So because this is a 2-year grant funded position, it would essentially be that in half of it this year and half of it the next year, or the life of the grant. And I have revised the 2026 budget to allocate those funds to meet that match for that position, should we get the funding for it.
I'm just curious, is that a one-time thing, or what happens if after the 2 years run out, we realize that, hey, we really need this position, can we apply for another grant for another 2 years?
I don't think we'd be able to apply for another grant to keep it funded. I think that we would make a decision then if we want to bring that in-house or continue on a contracted basis at our cost
Oh, sure,
in that position.
see what the budget looks like and if we have the money. to do
Yeah,
it.
but we have 2 years to make that determination, 2 years to see where this increased interest takes us.
Mhm.
But at least we have somebody at the helm. We don't have the staffing here and we don't have the hats
Right,
for that. And I think,
we have the hats, just not enough people wear it.
well, I think the level of interest that we're experiencing right now, it needs to be a person who is experienced in having those conversations with those players. Also, it would provide funding, we're seeking funding in addition to this, that would help, hire a consultant or whoever that person needs to create the reports of density, growth within the town, what that time frame is that's feasible for that to happen in, so that we're covering all our bases, we're doing it the right way. If that's where this goes. And it's somebody experienced at, having those conversations with those people, the developers and otherwise.
So if we get the grant, would we,
I would put an RFP out.
yeah, but, are we gonna be seeking an individual or a firm, so to speak?
Well, we've discussed it quite a bit,
Uh-huh.
and we would be seeking a person to fill that position
Mhm.
here. But then ultimately, I think we'd be looking at a firm to work with them on creating the reporting and the studies that we need to determine what that density level is and infrastructure needs and otherwise.
Okay.
That is a full-time position.
Right.
All by itself.
Yeah.
They would also be able to take over maybe some of the grant writing.
Hmm.
As it relates to community development.
If you. Yeah, I don't want to.
I mean. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I say do it, so we gotta make a motion then to move forward with resolution 2026-03.
A motion to approve it, correct?
Yeah, well, I'll make a motion to approve that, get it done.
And I'll second that.
Okay, take a poll vote. And everybody, correct? For all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay.
Send those opposed to me.
I forgot. Those opposed, say nay. Okay, now we're gonna move on to staff reports. That's correct.
I do sign the resolution. I know you revise it.
Did we miss one?
No, we're just getting on the same sheet. I need to revise that,
Okay,
Josh.
Oh, okay, now I see.
yeah. Okay, staff reports. I'll start with myself. Can I do that, please? Today I met with the seniors. they're looking pretty good over there. I don't know if you guys have been in to see the new flooring and they've got, some new painting done. And I also mentioned to them about the, Main Streets program and asked them to contact you or Sasha to get more information on that, because they're looking to get some help to either do a mural or a sign out on the building to help bring more seniors in, or let them know that that's where they're at the moment. So I asked them to do that. Then, I also have, and I know that this could be awkward for me because I'm a volunteer with the Cowboy Up Rodeo Committee. But they approached me and said that they had sent in a email asking for help with a donation to put our banner in the arena. So I was just gonna kind of bring it up to the board and say, you know, we have so many different events here in town. And I know personally that the rodeo doubles our population in one day. And it brings so much business.
Yeah.
And then I know there's the NVHA, there's Colorado Barrel Racing, there's the Mountain Thunder, Colorado Mountain Thunder shooting, the mounted shooting that meets over here. And then also there's a motocross event. So I was just gonna just kind of take it and say, I think personally, me being part of Cowboy, if I don't wanna, I know I recuse myself to vote on those things because I've been with them forever, but how do you guys feel about?
I'm gonna speak to that if you
Go
don't
ahead.
mind.
I was just gonna say why.
I don't know if they told you, but I already sent them a letter
Mhm.
and I advised that starting this year, I have chosen to move forward with sponsoring or donating to nonprofits. Cowboy Up is a for-profit. There has always been a source of contention with my event planning because we've reached out to them numerous times as a for-profit entity and asked for support with our events or programs within the town. And we've been met with crickets. We have a lot of nonprofits here that serve our community and our citizens. And they're always in need of funding in one way or another to support the citizens here. And based off of our budget and what we're trying to provide for our citizens and our community, I have denied 3 requests for sponsorship and donations based off the fact that they're not nonprofits within this community, they're for profit. And they're one of them that got a letter to that
Oh.
request.
Right, so my thought is that, how do you guys feel about sponsoring different events here in town to show our support for, or like the motocross or the mounted shooting people? You know, just to put our thank you for coming to our town with them. That's pretty much all I was thinking, and not just necessarily for Cowboy Up, because I'm on that rodeo committee. Or I'm just a volunteer, but anyway.
You know, historically, they've not done anything for our community members other than have their event here. Have our community come pay into their event, take the money, paying into the event. So we're doing them a service by our community paying into the event. This is,
Well, yeah,
Trevor has a comment.
but
So let me jump in real quick. When Cowboy Up first started the partnership, and that's what it was, it's set up on the front end as a partnership with the town.
mhm,
So they helped organize the Harvest Fest. And that was on the front end, they helped organize Harvest Fest. And then they helped with the Easter egg deal. I don't know if, of what depth or however, but that was on the front end, and in turn. The board. Did the financial sponsorship with them, okay?
okay,
But that's where we had there was a trade-off, because we got to utilize their volunteer base for two of our events. And that was where the trade-off, somewhere that part has gone away. And I'm just stating from what I see, okay? I have, and I respect Kim's decision versus supporting for-profits or nonprofits. I think that ought to, I really think that's the right mindset.
Okay, well, I'm just
Um,
thinking about it over the last, couple
But-
of weeks.
I do think, and maybe I'm sticking out farther than, but here's something that I have thought about it on that, since this is brought up here, is maybe with our town's social media presence, and maybe with our website, we can do upcoming events, monthly calendars, where it's linked to their website if you want to buy tickets. If it's all linked, it's tied in. Cause it would help nobody more than somebody that's going, well, we're gonna be in Kiowa, Colorado, June, whatever. What's going on there? And they Google it and pull it out, through the town. So I think that there's some things that we can do in kind, in a sense. It's not obviously money, but it still drives traffic and participation and shows support of their events.
That's what I was looking for, is supporting these events.
Absolutely.
Not just, the
I put out
rodeo every
anything
year.
that's in this community.
Yeah, so, it's like there's that,
About sharing things that
Yeah.
are going on.
Even when I get dogged on for doing it, I still do it. Because it's our community,
Yeah, we need
and I
to
think we need to highlight our community. We have a great community and I love sharing it with people. I love people knowing about it, and I get dogged on for just sharing it because I've literally had people tell me, quit doing it. We don't want them to know we're here. We don't want people coming here. We like our community. When you invite them here for this stuff, then they like it and they want to stay. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now?
Oh, I read the comments.
Well, we do have on our homepage, there's our calendar that has our events that you can look at, and then below it, it has links to a lot of the other,
On our event
community
page.
where you can link into their calendars too. So,
okay, I just thought I'd get everybody's thoughts on that kind of thing.
Yeah, my initial thought was something that we've always done, and let's support the rodeo. But I didn't realize that you've asked for help and.
What kind of help did you
Silent.
ask for?
It's been numerous times. We've even sponsored a pancake breakfast over at the Lions Club for them, we couldn't have a street breakfast because our street is a state highway. But we tried doing that over at the Lions Club one year, and they set up a table to sell the tickets to their event. And they ate breakfast, but they didn't help with any of it. They didn't help the service, they didn't help the cooking. And when we've asked them to even donate or do in kind or support any, I didn't know they did volunteer work. I would love that. We have 6 people right now, 5 now, with Terry gone, on our event planning committee that coordinates plans and does all your events. Only 5 people. And it would be invaluable if Cowboy Up's volunteer base would come forward and help with some of that stuff, especially this year. And we're trying to promote and put together a volunteer program to bring in more people. Erica sometimes has community service workers over there that she pulls over to help us, especially with the ice cream social. But other than that, there's just 5 of us doing that. It's very taxing. We have 12 events this year, that 5 people are doing. And if they would just step up and volunteer to help with some of that, that would be huge for us. But
Well, I'll bring it up Thursday night,
yeah,
if you wanna write something up for me,
absolutely.
and then we can, and then too. I know Miss Arena's not in town, but do we have links for them too? 'Cause they
All
hold a
it
lot
is
of-
connecting their
Yeah.
webpage to our webpage, and all it is, putting a link on there.
But they have a lot of events up there
Yeah.
too, same with, like the mounted shooting people. I have a couple of clients who I. want to-
Your old town clerk, Tasha,
Mhm.
is on that team.
Yeah.
She does that, her whole family does.
Yeah.
So,
So just wanna, reach out to these people and say, hey, we support you and thank you for coming to our community.
yeah, and and I do it, I share out Elizabeth's stuff and they share out our stuff as well. It's kind of a, you pat my back, I'll pat yours, because we're so close to each other.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of things that they do up there that we don't do here that would be of benefit, to our community members, whether it's classes on running a business, mental health stuff that we don't get here, but clearly there's a lot of people that need it, How you know? Bless your heart. Um,
I'm gonna
it's
need
just,
it.
it's sharing that stuff back and forth. I even share sometimes Hugo, Lyman stuff. We're very unique municipalities out here on the Eastern Plains.
Right?
And, I'll travel to these things, I'll travel from another county, another town to Elbert County and all of these municipalities for things that my family would enjoy and get something out of. So I feel like if my family will do it, your families will do it too. And I think we're just helping each other out here on the Eastern Plains when we do that.
Right.
So. Okay.
Alrighty, we can move on to Board of Trustees. Anybody else have anything?
One thing that comes to my mind, just real quick, like is, we had a lot of folks turn out for Terry's memorial service, and it was nice to see all the different folks that showed up there. And I was also well pleased with the food.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Yeah.
We had for those that don't know, we had the 3 restaurants in Kiowa come together and provide food, for
Right.
Terry's service.
Can
Do we
we
need
give a
to-
shout out?
Yeah, do we need to, send thank yous to
We're
them?
going to,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
It was fantastic.
It was fantastic, and a lot of people who aren't from our community, whether it was her family or friends or people that flew in for the service, I heard them commenting, this food is amazing.
It was-
I wish we lived here to get this, yeah.
Good
So
stuff,
it's
yeah.
great, things like that are what you want, people coming into your community and saying, so I would drive to another community. If I had a restaurant that I found in a small town, and I've done it before, that we love, we'll get up and drive the hour or 2 hours there.
Right.
We do that.
Yep.
I worked at
That's
Vino's
fun.
in high school and once a month, this couple would come from Kansas to.
Is that right? Yeah.
Pizza.
Yeah,
I've met folks during my travels around. And, and during course conversation, where you from? I'm from Kiowa. I don't know where that's at. Oh, I know where I love that Vino's place.
Yeah.
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 So.
Yeah, I
so
hear
for
that a lot too.
You get to smell it every day.
Yeah, I do. But anyway, that's all I had to say was I was very well pleased with the turnout and the food.
So on that subject, what about the honor guard? We send them a thank you,
We're
is
gonna-
there,
Yeah,
okay, and the bagpiper?
we are just 2 days away from that service and I haven't had a chance to do it yet.
Okay. Okay, so would that?
Oh,
be-
you go ahead. You wanted to talk about that, so.
Yeah, so would that be okay, the bagpiper is a friend of a friend. And the one friend wasn't able to make it because he'd gotten sick, so the bagpiper came by himself. So Mona and I had talked at one time, she asked if we were going to be donating anything to him for coming, because he came from Colorado Springs. So I said, I don't know, and so I was gonna try to, so I was wondering if it's something that we should do as a town or as a board, individual people donating to that gentleman for coming all the way up here.
And he donates all of his time.
Yes,
All of them did.
Yeah.
yeah,
All of them did. The town did financially with the funeral, and I cannot substantiate making donations to everybody that came forward to play a part in that at all.
But we can make individual donations.
You can do whatever you want as your own person.
okay. Okay, so maybe we can, set up an envelope here at town hall, we can all donate to it for him.
Good idea.
And I know he doesn't expect it, but he was amazing. He was just the nicest person. Yeah. And if you wanna take lessons, they practice down here at the Mason Hall, 11 o'clock every Sunday morning. So,
Yeah, there was somebody that, I don't remember. That was so excited that they're gonna go take lessons. Oh, yes, of course it is. That's how short my memory was. Sorry.
It makes sense.
It's
Where
on
do
my
they practice?
It's on my bucket list.
at the
Yeah.
Mason Hall.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Kiowa on Sundays from
Sunday
11 to
morning.
1.
Andrea just asked me, does anything ever happen to that building? I'm like,
Yeah.
"I don't know. I've never seen anything
I got his
happen there."
number, so I could text him.
Cool, okay.
Yeah, that was me. And now I remember.
Then we wanna move on to the town attorney, Josh.
Were there any other trustee updates?
I asked, this,
The only update I have is still working on the zoning code and getting that into place. As I'm pulling it together, I am finding sections that are missing that need to be there legally, such as like floodplain regulations, which is a federal requirement. For some odd reason, it didn't make it into this update. Because the intent of the work that I'm doing underneath the grant funding is strictly related to me basically confirming what has already been approved. I'm not making text line changes to the zoning code, but I am keeping notes on what we'll have to be looking at in the future to actually change or put into the zoning code as a text change, which would come after this.
So like if there's stuff in the zoning that is a gap and it's federal law. How long can we get, I don't wanna say get away with, cause it's like, I don't wanna say we're cheating or trying to get away with something, but how long can we go with that gap if it's federal law
Well,
without having it changed?
so the federal or the floodplain regulations were in your original zoning code, and as I've pointed out before, it's questionable on whether or not you really took the legal steps necessary to get rid of that code. It's why we're in this issue. It's not going to be long, let's put it that way, like. A text change requires us to go to planning commission. Planning commission has to consider the new text that's being added to your planning code or your land use code. That's gonna have to happen. But for this particular work that I'm doing, it's really not doing anything other than getting into place what y'all have already approved. We just didn't have that document in place. So that's really what I'm doing now. I'm not trying to go in there and make any changes to the language. I'm keeping notes on what I'm recommending and what's required, and we'll do that basically immediately after. But we have to go to planning commission and have them basically give their recommendation on including the language as it's where your code's set up. So, which y'all should be somewhat familiar with how that process worked. Yeah. I'm just giving you all that notice so you're not completely thrown off by the fact that it occurs whenever it does.
Thanks.
That's it from,
so
I don't have any of the fun stuff.
when is the next planning commission meeting?
Next Wednesday,
Next Wednesday?
third Wednesday of every month.
Yeah, and I won't have time to get that kind of update ready to be put into your code by that meeting, so it's really gonna have to be the March meeting for the planning commission.
We have to have that wildland fire stuff done by April.
Yeah, and Lindsay should be working with you on that.
She sent an email today. I need to go back and look at it. I just didn't have a chance working on this
Say,
stuff.
I
and
printed it off. She sent the wildfire thing, so I printed off the.
I need to talk to her because I had a discussion on Saturday with 3 other municipality administrators at the services, and they're working through that as well. And they gave indication that we have to do that all on our own. We can't piggyback on or partner or be collaborative with the fire in the county in any way.
Hmm.
That's their interpretation. So I need to talk to Lindsay about that, and see what her stance is. Of course, we take the guidance of our legal team, so.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're
I
getting
did-
theirs,
I did
but if our
print it
legal
out.
team says we can, then.
Yeah, talk with Lindsay. She mentioned to me today that there are some municipalities that basically adopting the state's, form code. And just enforcement goes through the town.
It's maddening that we have to spend money on something that we cannot enforce ourselves. And put things in place at our cost. Because they're putting these requirements on us
Talk to your state representatives
continuously.
continuously, call them. Say no more mandates without funding. Like, don't tell us we have to do something if you're not gonna provide the funding for it.
Sure.
It's a big thing.
Or pull our funding away from us.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, they do that a lot.
There.
They do that.
All right.
Town administrator?
Yep. So let's start with grants. On our stormwater sidewalk project, through conversations with CDOT staff, Kiowa has been able to secure a spot on CDOT's 10-year plan of projects in the Eastern Plains region for our project. Inclusion in this plan provides us approximately $4 million toward construction. The total estimated construction cost for the project is $10 to $12 million at this point. To address the remaining funding needed to move into construction, Kimley Horn will be pursuing a large grant request on a very competitive grant. It's called a build grant. Through conversations with Congresswoman Boebert and Senator Hickenlooper staff, the funding source has been identified as a viable option for us. I don't know, I can't remember if we talked about this at the last meeting. This is a large grant application. And we have a very specified amount in our budget for seeking funding. It's part of our contract with Kimley Horn. It's the last part of our contract with Kimley Horn that gets us from the planning and engineering to construction. And with the $45,000 in funding allotted under our grant, or our contract, I should say, to seek this funding, this is about a $30,000 ask out of that budget. It's a very large grant. It's a lot of work and it's due at the end of this month. So they are actively working on it. We were very hesitant to take that route because of the situation again at the federal and state levels. And Kimley Horn is intimately aware that two clients that they had last year with a simple $50,000 ask and $100,000 ask were both denied here in Colorado. So there was a concern that we would also be denied. Hickenlooper's office and Bobert's office have committed to coming together and supporting us on this effort and doing whatever they need at their levels to show that. So with that assurance, Kimley Horn felt comfortable in moving forward with seeking that grant. So we are applying for that.
Would it help if we wrote letters?
Anybody that wrote letters would help. So I'll be doing my email binge again with everybody looking for support letters from the commissioners and the emergency entities and otherwise. It's a critical project, so if we don't get this funding, we're running a risk of that project being shelved. And as we all know, we live in a community, understandably, that unless they see a shovel going in the ground, they're not believing that that's ever gonna come to fruition, so.
Right. So real quick, can I say
Yeah.
something? Kim and I met with, the staff member from Hickenlooper's office a couple weeks ago. Very, very nice young man from a small town like Kiowa in
Iowa,
Iowa, yeah, and he said the Eastern Plains is his his baby, because he likes the Eastern Plains because of where he grew up. And he said, they're so neglected out here, and we were both just, oh, thank you for
Yeah.
saying that,
Yeah.
because we are, and even farther out east, so. Anyway, he was picking up Hickenlooper that weekend from the airport, so I am going to talk to him. So I'm glad that we're going to get both sides coming
Yeah.
together to help us out.
and they're working with Kimley Horn right now to customize their support letters and whatever else is needed for our application that's gonna be submitted to them.
Yeah. That's awesome, okay.
That's great. I posted on social media and sent out last week that our bridge is finally going to go under construction on March 9th.
Yeah.
And then got an update today that it's actually gonna start on March 2nd.
Oh, that's.
So a week earlier than that. So they will be starting on creating the fly out It will be a fly out to the north. So traffic will be diverted onto this temporary bridge out to the north while the construction is conducted on our bridge. And that should go,
So they're gonna have to build 2 bridges.
they will, yeah.
Wow.
So it should run a year to 18 months, is my understanding. So,
Do you wanna hear something awesome about the bridge?
yes.
That we all used to light it, well, no, somebody.
This is not gonna incriminate you on
Light it
record,
on
is it?
fire every Halloween.
Oh, yes, I remember they used to do that when I was in high school.
Yeah.
You
Josh was like, please
Feel
don't say
like-
anything incriminating.
Feel a hay bale from somebody.
Board trustees did it,
They said somebody.
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 not your personal attorneys, so. Not here to protect you against incrimination.
The town parks project, our concept paper was submitted in January. And they had 20-something concept papers submitted. They chose 13 to move forward, and Kiowa was one of them this time. That comes at a cost. So our original request is a total of 1.25 million for improvements to both parks. They only have a budget of a little over $5 million to give out, with 13 selected applicants to go forward. So to strengthen our application, staff at GoCo recommended removing a park or picking out the highest priority items in our request.
Like bathrooms.
No, those aren't part of it because we already received funding for that.
That's right. Sorry.
So, by doing this, they believe it would improve our competitiveness and project clarity. So we have been meeting, we'll meet again tomorrow, to discuss how we can scale this down and whether it's seeking different materials for the pavilions, if the pavilions are no longer steel and they're now wood, for instance. We've been discussing that. Instead of making metal fencing, make wood fencing. Finding areas we can cut, or just reduce the cost, and would help considerably. So we're meeting tomorrow to have those discussions. That application is due beginning of March. And then we'll find out in June. So more to come in March. Kiowa Main Street. To speak to Tammy's discussion with the seniors on trying to find a way to bring attention to them even being located over there, behind the motor vehicle department. Colorado Main Street pushed out, a notification of a grant funding, availability through AARP. There's a grant called the AARP Community Challenge Grant that allows for a maximum request of $15,000. I did go ahead and apply for the full amount through that program, with the blessing of the Colorado Main Street ladies. What that funding will be used for, if we achieve it, is wayfinding signage throughout town. And those of you that don't know what wayfinding signage is, it's signage that provides or improves navigation, walkability, and overall community accessibility, especially to the senior citizen community. It's usually larger lettering. It's strategically placed around town to give direction to significant locations like the county building, the motor vehicle building, the senior center,
And the bank.
the bank, the library,
Okay.
things of that nature. So that would be a Main Street project, funded by, that grant that has no match. So if we get the full 15,000, we could spend the full 15,000 with no money out of their funding. When your Main Street program became a full Colorado Main Street community, they became eligible immediately for the mini grants that come with being a Main Street community. So we did complete a 5-year grant agreement with DOLA, which provides annually $3,000 that goes toward continued education in the Main Street arena, and $5,000 annually as a mini grant to be utilized in some sort of community improvement, beautification project, things that fall under Main Street. Both of those are able to be rolled over annually for the full 5 years, and you can choose at the end of the 5 years to use the full amount on some large project, or you can use it annually as you receive it. This year, I am under a requirement, being the first year Main Street community as well as the other three communities that came in this year, to attend the national level Main Street Conference, which is in Tulsa. And the money also goes toward the manager fall summit that they have annually. So I'll be going to Tulsa the week of April 12th for that Main Street Conference. It does not have to be me every year, and it will not be me every year. Next year, it could be a director from the Main Street Board, could be a chairperson, co-chairperson, whoever. And I think that is a great thing for somebody on that board to be doing as well. I think they need to go to these conferences. I think they need to learn and network with other Main Street communities nationwide and learn from them and what they can bring back here to Kiowa to improve Kiowa.
And that would help strengthen our Main Street Board as well.
It strengthens our community in a lot of ways. So, I'm a big proponent of educating yourself in any way you can educate yourself. And I'm also a big proponent in using other people's money to do it. So, the $5,000 mini grant this year, they have earmarked to utilize toward, the mural project. So,
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
As soon as you said the project that can be utilized on Main Street, I wonder, does Nordman Park count as being on Main Street? Cause it's right there? Or not, because it's just a block over?
well, the Main Street program is focused more so on our local businesses.
Oh,
It's helping our local businesses, and like they're wanting to create the sign and facade grant program.
Right.
Okay, so
Okay.
we've submitted the Ready Grant application to get the funding from that will help them a sub grant program. So the Main Street Board's getting the grant, and then they've created a sub grant program that goes back to the businesses.
Got it.
Okay.
mhm.
And that's again dependent on whether we get that Ready Grant funding or not. So we're waiting to hear about that in March. The mural project is an improvement to our Main Street. It's an improvement that would draw people in to Kiowa, draw people into the Main Street, which is predominantly your commercial district, and you want people going to your commercial district,
Mhm.
spending money in your commercial district. Bringing their business into your commercial district. So it's a beautification that enhances your commercial area.
You never told us where that mural was gonna be.
Well, I haven't finalized those discussions with the people that we've been having them with, and until I do that, I don't want to bring their name to the table until they're ready to do that. So as soon as I have better clarification on that, and all parties are willing to come to the table and talk about it together, then we're gonna keep it that way right now.
Okay.
With that said, that project is a $16,050 project. I'm actively working right now looking for, well, I have not looking for it, I've already found it, in-kind donation of the lift equipment that's needed by the girls that we put in the mural in. Part of their quote, is $2,000 to mobilize their own equipment out here to do that. And I can get Wagner equipment or Kubota to do it for about 600 for 1 week.
Hmm.
So,
Nice.
we're looking at avenues for getting one of them to sponsor, in-kind use of their equipment to take $2,000 off of that, and then with the $5,000 off of that, it's just a little bit under 10,000 that we're still looking for, 9,000. So they will be actively fundraising toward that project, and some of that will be done this summer when they participate in our Music in the Parks. They've opted to sell alcohol as a fundraising aspect in our Music in the Parks this year.
Mhm.
So that's just one fundraising. But I also did find out that the 150-250 had some remaining funds that were left. They're trying to get rid of, and I love people that want to throw away money. So everybody that weren't picked, the first couple rounds were asked to reapply, and there's a potential of getting some of that money still from the 150-250 grant funding that's available. We'll know more about that in March. as part of the benefits of becoming a full Main Street community now, Colorado Main Street at the DOLA level will fully fund Slate Communications coming in and producing a Kiowa Community Main Street promotional video. For those of you that came to our drive-in movie night, I did a compilation, the first 30 minutes, kind of a preview, like going to the movie theater, of all of the Eastern Plains Main Street communities. They did a similar video for all of them. These videos run upwards of $10,000 to have them produced. And they come into your community, interview your businesses, your business owners. They do a drone flyover. They do a huge highlight, much like some of them that I've been reposting that have been done. And all of that's free to us. So more to come on that. And I asked them, when we get some of these projects completed and we've put some work into our Main Street and we've got things to report back, they will come back out and do a revised one for us to highlight a lot of that. And some of the discussion at Main Street's meeting, beginning in January, was a creation of a welcome package for new businesses as a way to support business retention, encourage engagement, and promote downtown success. So that's it for Main Street. I knew this before Terry's services on Saturday because the commissioners called me and asked my thoughts on it. But they have all come together and they are proposing to work with the town and CDOT in finding a way to rename the section of State Highway 86. Oh. Mayor Teresa Terry Howard Memorial Highway. It's their request. They opted to do it and they want to do it for us. So we're working with them to figure out how to get that done. It's a long process. It could take up to a year or a little more, but they felt it, it's important to do that for us. So,
Like that idea.
yeah. And our family is very, very thankful. I will say this before I move on to Public Works. Her sister, communicated with me today and she wanted me to tell you all and the commissioners when I talked to them how terribly thankful they are for what we did for them, for their sister. They would have never been able to honor her in that way. They didn't have the means. And they are very appreciative that the town that Terry loves so much came together for them. So,
That's say they're very welcome.
yeah. It's gonna take a while. Public Works. I needed to talk to you guys about this. I would like to move forward with this, but I want your thoughts on it. As we move through our discussions with our town park project, we've had to create areas that we can, show town ownership in this project. By that, I mean, we're listing what we've already done to obtain funding, like the bathroom project. And that goes in a category of leverage funds. Okay, so we've already obtained funding for that. It's part of the proposed park project that we wanted to have done, improvements. So that now is leverage funds on the part of the town toward the whole project for the parks.
To show that we got skin in the game.
We've got skin in the game. There's other areas, there's smaller areas that aren't of significant financial value to this, but by the town taking that on and saying, okay, well, we're willing to do this aspect of it. Then that also shows in kind and leveraged participation or collaboration on our part. So one of the aspects that we had discussed that doesn't affect reducing the cost or reducing the cost analysis of this grant, because either way, we've already said we would do this as an in kind, so it doesn't affect us moving forward before we obtain the funding for the rest of the improvements. A lot of the feedback we got was creating parking over at Fawn Valley Park, off-street parking at the park.
Hmm.
In talking about this park, walking through this park with consultants and our project manager. The thought process was to remove that weird squiggly sidewalk
Mhm.
that goes down into that park. Remove the squiggle, that makes no sense, it's not even ADA compliant, and put in a parking area there. Our guys, our public works guys, feel that they can achieve that without us having to hire any kind of contractors to do it. They would be able to do the earth movement. Teddy has proposed to work with Burnco or another concrete company and put concrete just on the handicap parking spots. And then crushed asphalt in the rest of the parking lot. We probably could put 15 to 20 parking spots over there. We would take out all the squiggle down to where it goes straight down to the park, maintain that as the walk out to the park from the parking lot area. And we would also put the bathrooms up there by that parking area.
They would have to re-engineer that, wouldn't they? Because it's so steep right there.
Yeah.
There is a slope there, so,
Yes.
yeah, we would have
We've
some
been
discussion.
talking
We've
about
been talking
dirt
about
moving.
dirt moving and
Build a retaining wall.
talking to
Yeah,
Road and
yeah.
Bridge and utilizing some of their resources.
Yeah. We've been kind of
There,
brainstorming.
yeah.
Yeah, because when you said making that area parking area, I'm like, that's pretty steep.
Mhm. Yeah, we would have to build that up with a retaining wall
Yeah.
and.
Would that require professional engineering?
I don't know yet. So we want to explore that more. And I wanted to get your feel for that because with their staff labor, equipment use that we can get in kind, materials that we can get possibly in kind or with a significant government reduction, which the county's helping us on. It would potentially be a $40,000 to $55,000 improvement. But not out of our budget necessarily. If we need to go to engineered plans, we may have to pay for that. But as far as the work itself, the equipment and the materials, a lot of that would be in kind or donation.
Yes, I see a lot of people that park on the streets.
Well, and we
When
have
you
one
to-
significant event over there.
The Easter egg hunt, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. there's-
Sadly enough, and I think you guys already know this, when we start having these discussions about what needs to go, it probably would have to be more at Fawn Valley. A lot of the requests by community input for Fawn Valley was to put in a jump pad over there. I don't know if you guys know what a jump pad is. I just learned what a jump pad is.
What is it?
It's,
For like bikes and skateboards. What's it?
yeah, and they're,
Use that one over there, that much anymore. At
Yeah.
Evans Park.
well, and Fawn Valley is more of a neighborhood park
Mhm.
where Nordman's the main municipal park. So, right now, some of the things that we had on Fawn Valley were things that we already had down as in kind on the town's part. Topping off the mulch over in the playground area. There's already mulch there. We just need to top it off and bring it to an acceptable level for insurance purposes. The guys can do the landscaping work on the grass. Mendez, before he came to us, was he put in sprinkler systems. So, I mean, Mendez could put in a sprinkler system over there. They can lay sod over there.
Out Fawn Valley.
Fawn Valley, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we could put in landscaping over there. We can put in trees over there.
I think shade was really big.
Shade was a big thing, and that's one thing I'm pushing for to keep. Right now, we have two steel structures that were priced out at $98,000 a piece
Jeez.
for 20 by 30, and that's absolutely outrageous. Maddie at the county, they put in a 40 by 60
Yes. I think
pavilion
so.
over here by the show barns. $45,000 over there. We could put two of those in, for half that each, and they're wood with a metal roof.
Mhm.
So it's just finding ways to maximize our dollar. And I get what Christine's saying. She's like, well, the longevity of it's how you take care of it. You know, in my opinion, that's how I've always seen it. So I don't feel that we need to sacrifice a pavilion in a park when both of them need a shade structure. When we could find other ways to reduce the cost better. So, and I think that we seek better, quotes from other contractors around here. Some of the contractors that we got quotes from were really high. And we've since learned that there's other avenues to get some of that done at a much cheaper price. So. It's just maximizing your resources. And that's what we're trying to do before we submit this final application. Yes, ma'am.
I would be concerned about the liability with a jump pad, you know, if that wasn't done exactly right or whatever. You know, those kids all flying around, or even somebody's toddler get in the middle of it. It just,
Yeah,
to me, that would be.
it was not it's not one that you see where they go deep down in it and fly up in the air. It's actually one that's conducive to mothers walking their kids in a stroller or walking their babies in a stroller. It gives kind of a hilly
Oh, okay.
feel to it, and their toddlers can ride their little bikes along with them. It serves a lot of mobilities, not just kids on their BMX bikes.
Okay.
That was my concern, because I'm like, how much use are we actually gonna get out of that over at that park? It's a $200,000 piece of equipment. And when you're looking at a neighborhood park as opposed to a municipal park, I just can't see. And to me, that's the first thing that goes. We have, numerous requests for a splash pad.
Yeah.
And that was considered at Norman Park. That's our main municipal park. It's creating the argument for a regional need for it, which is not hard out here, in the Eastern Plains, but you do have a couple reviewers on the GoCo review board that need you to build a better case for a regional need for it. It's just those things that we're battling right now, and we'll get there, but those are the hard discussions we have to have in order to make ourselves competitive in this. And these things, at Fawn Valley, they're not necessarily things that'll never happen. You know, once we get these significant improvements done in Norman, you know, there'll be an opportunity to save money from what we haven't been able to do, because we've been putting all our money into porta potties, you know, into these parks. So, you know, there are things that we can do manageably in increments. They don't all have to be done at once. So. So what are your thoughts on the parking?
Well, to speak to your comment about it being a neighborhood park, it's just there's the entrance that that I've used when I used to go there with my kids all the time would be the one with the squiggly walkway. And it's not a big deal just to park right off the street there.
It isn't, but
But there are
residents
more
there.
entrances to that park that are in the neighborhood. And I can imagine if somebody were to have like a big picnic, you know, cause it is a neighborhood park, so if someone wants to have a big picnic and, hey, let's use the park in the backyard. And they have a family reunion, or they have a graduation party or a birthday party, and all of a sudden the neighborhood gets filled with cars. I think a parking spot's a good idea.
that was the feedback too that we got, was the fact that it's people living over there, it's their home.
Mhm.
And while they like the use of the park over there, they kind of are held hostage there by the fact that, you know, when there's large groups using it, they have to sacrifice, you know,
And also,
their area in the neighborhood.
that park has handicap equipment for the,
It does.
and so is there, I should ask, a handicap parking spot for,
There's no parking, no handicap identified parking at all for that park.
and so
Because there's
how
no-
would, versus the squiggly thing, or,
we would put handicap parking in the parking lot.
right, but right now,
There's nothing.
so that might be a big deal to
Yeah.
get done.
I love that sidewalk.
What she said? She loves the sidewalk.
Yeah.
We just
I
might
think
pass
somebody very drunk designed that.
You're like, we're just gonna keep doing this.
Yeah.
So with that, thought handicap parking, is there anything, can we see if there's anything available through ADA to help?
Sasha's our ADA compliance officer for the town. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
And she's
Now
taken
I-
those ADA compliance coordinator classes
Yeah.
for,
okay.
for playground equipment.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yeah, you actually, yeah, Mendez and I went and actually took a class, and wandered around and we learned a whole lot about ADA compliant for playgrounds and. So can we get more of a grant for that?
We can seek it, yes. I just gotta find a grant program to
Yeah, we
apply
can
to.
look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Just a thought to help us out. So,
Absolutely.
you know, we're still kind of minimally or limited on our.
Yeah, just so you know, some of the equipment being proposed for Norman Park is ADA compliant. There's a merry-go-round that allows kids with wheelchairs to go
Yeah.
onto it
Oh,
and utilize it.
Yeah.
So,
There's really cool swings, where they
Mhm.
can roll their wheelchair into the swing so they can swing.
What?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and if the splash pad gets put in, then of course it would be ADA compliant, so the kids in wheelchairs and stuff could roll into the
Yeah.
splash pad and play.
Get the chair all wet.
With the, if we put in a splash pad, that would cost a lot for water.
Nope.
Oh,
No,
actually,
actually
it
not.
just,
It's
it
recirculated.
recirculates. Yeah,
Yeah.
with
It's
very little loss.
And
It's a-
then it gets to playing it again.
No, it goes back to the chlorine, Bailey.
Yeah, it actually is one of the,
I hope they.
it is one of the more
Right?
cost efficient
I hope
things.
they decide around that.
It was actually one of the more cost efficient things we
It
looked
really
at.
was.
Because it has a tank and it goes through the chlorine, it just recirculates, and there was because it's underground and everything, there was very little actual water loss.
Yeah.
So as far
Yeah. A
as
lot
that
less
goes.
than we anticipated.
Yeah, it's a lot less than we thought.
For the splash pad, I think, Don Valley is a better choice for that because of the room.
Yeah, but if you have people that know that it's there and they're coming in from outside your community to use your water, then they're parking in your neighborhoods in front of everybody's home.
Okay.
Right,
And that is.
And
like
what-
with the Easter egg hunt,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
get trapped in my house almost every single year.
Yeah, every year.
Yeah.
One thing that I did bring up to Christina, I think would be advantageous over at Fawn Valley is correcting the landscaping issue, the grass, the ant beds, the cactus,
Yeah.
creating more of a field for. Sasha found out when we were taping off for Fall Fest, there's a bunch of little kid teams that utilize Norman Park to practice soccer and football and.
Yeah.
And such, and we have so
Yeah,
much
when I-
space over there.
when I was spray painting for the Fall Fest and they came over and I was like, oh, they're like, we're gonna practice, and I'm like, oh, I was like, could you practice in the middle so I can spray?
Yeah,
paint the
so I think-
inside?
Improving that greenbelt area over there would be huge for,
Yeah.
especially in the neighborhood.
With grass.
Are you
in there.
talking about at Fawn Valley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cause if we could add like grass.
Cause where the volleyball court is, I don't even really like my kids going over there because there is so much
There
cactus.
is.
That you don't even get
I-
over to the court.
The Easter egg hunt every year gives me hives because when I put the eggs down, there's been a couple years I put the eggs down and I've stuck those right up underneath my fingernail.
Oh,
And I'm doing that. I know the kids can
I
do
did that last year.
Yeah. So
So we've talked about
no matter how much we try, we still don't get all of it. So we really need to figure out a way to make that better over there for the community. Code enforcement fourth quarter report from 2025 is in your packet.
So,
Saw it.
If you have any questions, I could pass those on to Susie. I myself cannot answer them. As you know, because that's how we have the system set up.
I know I sent in a request.
Good.
Well,
And that's good to do. If you guys send those emails into her directly, then it's easier for her to answer you directly like that.
I sent it to you.
Oh, you did? I'll have to look for it. When did you send it?
Verbally, a couple of weeks ago.
not verbal. Don't you verbal.
Okay, so
We lose
I will
that.
We'll
find
revisit
Susie's
that.
Email
It
and.
doesn't mean that I don't remember. It just means right this second, my brain is not pulling that information forward.
Not me,
Just not. It's
not
a
me
long day.
emailing. Write it down.
We had court for the first time in 2026 last Monday.
Yep.
And our sweet little Judge King informed me at the end of that court docket that he would be resigning from that position.
He's retiring, fine.
He's retiring to spend his retirement years with his wife. He spent 44 years in the court system before he came to us on a part-time basis. And he served us for a year and a half. We had 2 court sessions last year that he came to and one last week. And so we're gonna be putting out a RFP to replace him.
Is his last
Last
day,
will be April.
well, so he's still gonna be there for April. So
Yes,
It's every other month, so.
Yeah, so if
But are
we
we
have,
looking to replace the judge for April, or are we looking to replace judge for
After
after?
April.
after April,
Thank you.
yeah, so we would need him for June.
Yeah. Let's see. I will also be reaching out to the other municipalities to see if they have any information as to who they utilize for the municipal court judge. Maybe they'll offer us some help there. One thing I wanted to add on here that's not on the agenda, I got a report today and I haven't done one of these for you guys in a while, but it's an update on the charger out here, outside town hall. I haven't given this to you in a while. Just got one from Core today. For the month of January, the utilization rate was 10% over 19 sessions, so it's picking up business over there. People are knowing that it's there. It's on a map with Core, so when you're running out of battery or whatever it is, you're charged to get to Parker, you look it up on their interactive map and it guides you in here. So they made $132.82 in the revenue just in the month of January. We activated that on September 18th, 2023 and they started charging for it in August of 2024. Now that is a 5-year lease on that spot. And the reason I share this with you, and that's important, and the fact that it's amping up usage, at the end of that 5 years, we have the option of having them remove it or we take it on ourselves. It is the only one between Lyman and Parker. So it's getting used. And the good thing about the use of it takes an hour and a half for them to get to Parker. Hour and a half for charging for them to get from town hall to Parker, which is absolutely ridiculous and good for them for their electric vehicle. But in an hour and a half, they're going down to Beano's and they're going down to Patty Ann's and they're sitting there having lunch and they're spending money in our towns. And as our main street grows and we get more commercial business down here, there's more opportunity for those coming out here. And it is just one charger, but it's one charger that we're making money off of them sitting there charging at, and we're making money off of them going to the local businesses and the restaurants, eating and spending money at. So that's my thought process in that. I know there's a lot of you guys that don't agree with electric vehicles and the charger in our municipality for such, but I don't think our feelings toward electrical vehicles should outweigh the benefit to our town.
Yeah, they're out there.
My only gripe about the deal is the location.
Yeah,
We should put it next to the tennis courts.
well, those tennis
Cause then
courts
it's,
are
then
going
it's like
away.
from here to
The
there,
tennis courts are just.
to the restaurants, not. Is,
Right, but what about all the stagnant water that develops down there?
Well,
That
Let's
wasn't
see.
an option though, was it?
No, it wasn't.
other than they wanted it on town property, but.
No, but here's the thing, you're wanting a shortcut to the restaurants. If they're
And
up
all
here,
the shopping businesses, I mean.
if they're up here and they have to walk down there and at some point, we're gonna extend our Main Street businesses along Main Street. If they're walking from here and have to walk down to there, then they're passing all those businesses.
It's
True. Right now they will.
Well, yeah,
Negative
we'll see.
Nancy.
That'll get changed here pretty soon.
But it only takes like a minute to walk down there,
Yeah.
because.
So I just wanted to share that with you.
Not left.
I get these from Core every other month to keep us updated on what's going on with it.
There's somebody on the.
There's somebody there all the
Yeah, all
time,
the time.
I always see people there.
all the time.
Yeah.
I just laugh at them when
How
I
much
see it.
does one of those cost?
It's so what they told me was the rate at the level 2 charging, that's a level 2 charging station. It's 8 cents for off-peak hours outside 4 PM and 8 PM for members. You have to become a member on there. You have to register. 15 cents for on-peak hours, which is between 4 PM and 8 PM. 25 cents I guess it's a kilowatt hour, all hours, non-core members. So if you're a core member, you get those peak benefits there of 8 cents off peak hours, 15 cents for on peak hours. If you're not a core member, it's 25 cents for all hours that you utilize it.
Well, I was asking how much does it cost to buy the charger?
We don't have to buy it. It would just, the ownership of it would be transferred to us.
Oh,
So that's something we'll visit because it's only
So you
been,
have to wait.
we have a
5
couple
years.
more years before that lease runs out, yeah.
Hmm.
So at the end of that 5 years, we'll revisit it and talk about it. Maybe there's another level that they upgrade it to, you know, that's faster charging. I don't know. Maybe there's other locations that we move it to. But there are things that we, you know, need to have on our radar to talk about next 5
You
years.
know, I've never even really looked at it, but you know. Go to the gas station and one gas pump has 2 nozzles. Does that one charger have 2 plugs? Or-
Does it?
You can put 2 cars there.
So 2 cars can charge at the same time?
2 cars can sit there.
Yeah.
And you know, if I'm looking at it from a benefit, I know you'd like to have it down at the park, so it was direct access over to the restaurants. Here they have security cameras that keep them safe, or their car safe over there. Right now, we don't have security cameras, which by the way, that's an update too. They'll be out on the 18th and the 19th to finally put our security cameras in Northman Park.
Yeah.
The electricity is pulled over there, and the cameras go in on the 18th and 19th.
There's one by the outhouse
We have an outhouse.
at Norman Park.
Oh,
The toilet, yeah.
outhouse.
John.
There will be one, right now there's cameras up there already. They're temporary cameras, but there's one on the east side of the tennis court. And then they're gonna be putting some on that main pole in the middle of the park down by the playground. So that they get the full view of the park and not just the stationary view that we have right now. So. That's all I have for my report.
okay. So we'll move on to discussion and communications. Discussion on VRBO and Airbnbs by trustee Shantz.
Okay, so I got this booklet from Landmark Realty. And it lists in here all of Colorado, and towns and events that all the towns in Colorado have. And I found Kiowa on here, and there's nothing in there. So
What is that book?
it's called Colorado Official Travel Guide. Explore it, and I'll give it to you.
Yeah, please.
And I got it at Landmark Realty. They give them out free. So, I looked through it and I tried to get some ideas that might bring more, people to the town and events. And I know we have a lot of events, but, to get interest in the town and promote business in the local community, the rodeos, fairs, museums, there's weddings out here. There are VRBOs in Elizabeth, Elbert, and Parker. And of course, outside of the town of Kiowa, I found 5.
Mm.
The lodging tax did not pass, correct?
It
did
It did?
We now have a
Yes.
lodging tax within a lodging.
Oh, I thought
Oh,
it didn't
okay.
pass.
I
No,
thought-
that's
No,
the
it
only
did.
thing that passed.
The other taxes, the sales tax and
And
stuff
use
did
tax
not,
didn't.
did not
That's
pass, but the
awesome.
lodging pass did.
So,
Yeah, 1.5%.
okay. So I was trying to think of a way to. I mean, we all know the Debbie's Trailer Park is overly packed all the time. And I just would like to see if there was a way to implement a VRBO in the town. And I don't know how that works, but does VRBO,
VRBO and Airbnb are one and the same. I mean, they're
Okay.
2 different entities, but they do the same thing.
do they?
Short-term rentals.
Yeah.
Do they have to get a business license from a town or not?
No, you sign up to be a host through their website. The website
And
just helps
nothing-
you.
And nothing,
But didn't we discuss something like this about short-term rentals just a few years ago?
yes,
Yeah, we did. But we're revisiting it now that we have a lodging tax.
um,
What was y'all's outcome on the short-term rentals?
Well, I think it wasn't so much short-term rental as it was Airbnbs and VRBOs, and there was not a appetite for it at that time.
But do y'all have anything that says that they're not allowed or that you have to have permits?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we did in the town, we said there could not be. I thought that was,
We have nothing in writing that says they're not allowed.
oh, okay.
Nope.
So,
Go ahead.
We just have no, we have not established code speaking directly to them. We did a lot of data collection and research with other municipalities, other towns that have Airbnbs and VRBOs, and they have code that speaks to how they operate in their town, whether they need a business license or what lodging tax or otherwise, anything that goes along with those. But we have never instituted that language in any form or fashion in our own codes. But we've also not said you can't do it.
I thought we did. I thought there was a vote a couple of years ago saying that we weren't going to allow it in the town of Kiowa because
no, there was
some people wanted to do it.
there was a lot of misinformation that occurred that night.
Mhm.
Okay.
And there was, what they didn't approve the units of that
So
location
roof thing again.
is how that went down. It wasn't a blanket, it was directed at the location.
Okay, so,
If I could jump in.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know, I think we have to go through the planning commission. Correct.
I mean, if you're gonna make a code amendment, yeah. probably.
Or to set up the guidelines for what it would take to, cause.
Depends on what you put it under in your code.
Okay. And I'm gonna throw this out and I'm probably got it way too dummied down. But I think it makes sense if we had it. In a sense, it's a business license.
Mhm.
And then. We already have our tax, our sales tax, and I know with. Airbnb and VRBO, when you go make, cause I think we're trying to say that's just park for a pig show. And the only way we're gonna be able to do it is we're getting an Airbnb and put 3 families or
Mhm.
something in there.
That's what we do.
But all the fees and all the taxes are automatic. They're taken by that entity and then they pay back to the land, the owner, property owner. And if we had it, if we felt necessary to have a, I don't know how it's called, with the fee, which our governor loves fees, cause you don't have to vote on fees, but it's a one-time charge. But if you had a visitation fee, so you have that plus the 1%, whatever, lodging tax, plus the sales tax that goes on there, that's how it's set up. But I think too, if we did it right, that fee goes directly to promoting local events, profit or non-profit.
Tourism,
Yeah, tourism.
yeah.
It makes sense, and
A tourism fee.
I mean, that's a simple ask, I guess. The only other thing is that to protect all parties is that if that you have to you renew annually. And if there's an issue with said property.
Well, they kick them out of their membership. They're not allowed to.
And I think anymore,
they've gotten very strict.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they're more careful of. But I do think there's a lot of opportunity, cause back when we were trying to, and I was all for this
Mm-hmm.
those years ago.
Yeah.
And partly because the guy that puts on an event, and there isn't hotels within 30 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's 4 wedding venues within 10 minutes of Kiowa. And then you figure in, Masserina, and I mean, it's a
Needed to
no
go
brainer.
that.
Now, I will say that there's different lobbyists in Castle Rock and in Douglas County that all have big fancy hotels. And so that's why that's where that was held up on the Airbnbs in Douglas County. I don't know if they approved them now yet or not,
I don't know.
but for a while they were outlawed. But it's all because all the hotels and all those owners.
Wanted to monopolize.
Oh, yeah, they lobbied pretty
didn't know that.
hard. They picked butts and campaigned on,
Yeah,
but that's,
that's interesting. I didn't know that
So-
I
part.
thought it was a zoning issue.
It can be, it can go either way. If it's gonna be a zoning matter, then you're basically looking at creating an overlay zone that allows for short-term rentals to occur within that zone and only within that zone.
Which
That
was
can be
part of the
happening.
conversation.
Yeah,
That can happen whenever you have maybe areas where the single family detached doesn't really want it, or maybe the municipality wants to keep short-term rentals closer to their main area of where, people spend the money. So you can go through zoning to basically create the area where it's gonna be allowed and where it's not allowed. You don't have to, though. You can do simply a business license, do both. The licensing is the ability to track who is operating those and requiring them to make their reports, quarterly, to allow the town know, to go get that sales tax from, or lodging tax from
Yeah,
them.
because we have to collect
So-
that ourselves. That
Yeah.
doesn't go through the Department of Revenue like everything else.
Well, then a business license and kind of makes sense.
Helps us track it.
Helps us track it. It also kind of gives us a temperature of where the hot spots are. Are they all over town or is it just down this one street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't do the zoning, you don't have to go to planning commission because there's not a change to the land use code. There's not a change to your zoning
We
code.
would simply just create a process.
so if we
Yeah,
Yeah,
If
so
we
I have to
instead
create a business.
did the
license for it.
overlay, whatever's inside town limits is eligible.
Well, right now, other out of town limits already, there are already
Right.
people,
And the county's benefiting from that.
yes.
Yeah.
So
How do we do that? How do we do that?
Do we vote on this or what do we do?
well, I can,
Josh has a project.
Josh has
Well,
so many.
I would,
projects. We create.
well,
those
on
projects
on my
inside.
end, I could start working on a different business license.
yeah,
Because I mean, I have ones for food trucks, I have ones
We
for,
already started some of this
I
stuff.
mean,
back
we've
then
already
anyway.
started some of this, yeah,
Well, it sounds
so
like Sasha has a project.
that's okay.
and it would be something that, once it was basically together, we would bring it to you at a meeting
Yeah.
for y'all to vote on to implement it as,
I think that's the easiest way, the less costly way, because when you're looking at code updates, that gets expensive, cause Josh is doing his legal work and then. We have our plan, it has to go to planning and then it has to go back to the board when you're doing code updates, right?
I have one more, it's not on there, but the town cleanup day. Can we talk about that?
We can, I have some information for you.
Oh, okay. One more thing, this town sign, are we waiting till the?
Teddy's working on that.
Okay, good.
He actually came to me today. He talked, it's such a great benefit for Teddy of
Oh,
coming from
yes.
CDOT.
Yeah,
He talked to somebody higher up in CDOT today about that sign. When I originally reached out to them to see how we can get those signs in the CDOT right away, I was immediately told no, just no, right across the board. It seems, and I'm sorry about this because I'm from Texas and this is where this originated from. Lady Bird Johnson created a problem for everybody nationwide. She didn't want those big billboards and all the highways being littered with transient signs and otherwise, so they put, what do you call it, whatever in place to mitigate that. So CDOT's very strict on what you can put in the right of ways now because of Lady Bird Johnson.
where the wildflowers go.
As far as the freaking wildflowers. Which is big in Texas, but not so much up here.
I don't think I've seen it.
We have
on here.
cactus and, yeah. But he talked to a higher up today and he actually, directed him to a section on CDOT's website that I can go to and apply in an application for permission to put those things in the CDOT right away. So we're seeking to get that approval to pull that one out from the fencing up there by the water tower and put it closer to the highway so it's more easily seen. And then get permission to put it in a CDOT right away down there by Elbert Road. Right on the outskirts of town or at the edge of town. In the right of way. So Connie graciously agreed to let us put it on her property, but in order to get it out of CDOT's right of way, Connie had to straight down into her
Well,
property.
it probably needs to
Wouldn't go-
be a little up the hill or coming into town.
We realized once we got that one in that it would be better seen if it was closer to the highway.
Right.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
gaining that ability to do that
I've
would
never even seen.
be advantageous. So we're gonna go that route at their urgent. So we'll figure out how to get that done. Again, I don't know how long it'll take, but that's what we're gonna do with that. Why don't you give me what your proposal is for cleanup day?
Oh, I don't really have one, but
Okay,
I would love to, I don't know.
so I'm just gonna give you some information.
Yes.
Okay, to ponder, because this is the second or third time we've revisited this subject at a board meeting. And I've not been receptive to it, I'll be honest about that, because we've already talked about how many people I have at our disposal to organize these events and run these events. And this type of event is a very large manpower event, okay, in a lot of ways. We have a small municipality, but it's a large ask for manpower. I'm saying, on average, and I'm just throwing this out there, that we would potentially, if we opened up a community cleanup day or drop-off event, we would be looking at 75 to 150 households. It may be very low, but I'm just gonna throw that out there as the assumed household number that would be participating in this. And based on that expected turnout, the recommended approach is to rent a 40-yard roll-off dumpster. I got some information from Junior, because he recently got a 40-yard roll-off dumpster for some cleanup over the mobile home park, and that's the biggest one they offer. It's $650 for that one. And that covers a rental period of 1 to 14 days. Now, we would not have that roll-off dumpster for 14 days. This would be a one-day event.
Yeah.
But it's still $650. That would include disposal of up to 4,000 tons with an additional cost of $80 per ton over that limit if it's exceeded. Based on comparable events, typical household disposal volumes, staff anticipated included tonnage should be sufficient, provided we clearly communicate prohibited items and actively monitor dumping throughout the event. As a contingency, staff recommends identifying the option to bring in a second 40-yard dumpster if participation is higher than expected, or if the first dumpster fills more quickly than anticipated. This would allow the event to continue without interruption while maintaining safety and control of the event. The event would be structured as a resident-only drop-off. It has to be structured as a resident-only drop-off.
People
We
aren't
cannot
gonna
have all
force
of Albert
range.
County using us as their dump site.
Right, so, sorry, I'll interject here because Elizabeth does it by your water bill.
That's how we'd have to do it.
So, yeah.
That's how
And
we'd
you
have
want-
to do it. So that by doing that, you're requiring a proof of residency. You have to show your water bill to show you live here in this town. So to operate this event safely and efficiently, and this is the important part I need you guys to understand. Staff anticipated would be 8 to 10 people on site. 2 staff or volunteers that check in to verify residency, 2 to 3 staff stationed at the dumpster to ensure only allowed items are dumped, 1 to 2 staffing managing traffic flow and safety, and 1 to 2 float staff to assist residents and address issues as they arise. It would take place at a designated municipal location, which would have to be the fairgrounds in our town, so that it has adequate space for vehicle queuing, safe unloading, and roll-off placement. This approach provides a cost-effective way to support residents, reduce illegal dumping, and improve overall community cleanliness. But I won't be doing it. And I'm being forthright with you over this right now. I have 12 events this year. And I won't be doing it on my personal time. I did not leave this office one day last week before 9 o'clock. I spend a lot of hours here like that. In addition to that, I spend those hours on all these events. And I won't be doing it. I won't add one more, and I can guarantee you, my little committee of 5 people will not head this up themselves. So
I love the idea, I'll help.
I love it, but we'd have to figure out a way to get that staffed. And when I say that, I mean, if you have said that you're gonna help do this, you're gonna show up and help do it. And I'm not trying to be
Or run it.
Right.
or run it, yes. I know my limitations. And I'm at my limitations with what we already put on our plate annually. Until we get a set in place volunteer committee, a good one. So either we have town board members who are making the suggestion of these events, step up and help run the events. Or we don't do them.
Wait, is it like beginning of May-ish, like spring?
May is like a cleanup, that would be a good time to do it. It's after the Easter egg hunt in April. It's before the music in the park start. It would have to be a 1-day event,
Saturday.
but there are a list of things
That's the way it's
that
been passed, just-
cannot be put in that. And Elizabeth allows furniture and washers, dryers, big items like that. You get a couple households that bring just that.
Gonna fill up fast.
And that's one roll off. That's $650 on town money.
Yeah, one year I helped out, we went through 5 roll-offs.
Yes. So it's expensive. It's labor intensive for a 1-day event.
Mhm.
Man, that's like.
So it-
$5,000.
The deal that soured me was helping with the tree project.
Oh,
The what?
Crazy.
when all of the tree branches
The
broke.
tree
from-
chip.
No.
Over there at the fairgrounds?
No.
No, it was
Oh,
over,
you did that here?
it was
Cause
at
they
the,
just did that a couple of years, the fairgrounds county did.
At the
We
town.
did right at the town.
It was up in Macon.
How
I didn't know
You
that. I
should-
hadn't heard of that one.
that
the
whole
whole area was covered in tree.
was covered in trees. I was just,
Oh,
we
well,
had this little
A third,
like homeowner chipper. I'm like, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
So I ended up
that
renting.
sounds terrible.
We ended up renting like this. Big diesel powered chipper. We went through 150 gallons of diesel. We ran it 4 days straight.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm done. It was.
It was.
It was.
I never
I
heard
mean-
about that.
But
one.
there was trees, branches everywhere because
Under-
of how heavy the snow was. It just.
Oh.
You had every tree within 100 miles with branches. So
You're like, is that a Christmas tree?
there's no fence, nothing. There's just. You talk about a turd show. It was.
That was bad.
And I went and got I went and got a skid steer with a clamp to grab it and get them set piled. And
I hadn't heard about that one.
No,
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
That sounds delightful.
A couple years ago before I got on the board. But we were gonna have another one, and we were told it was too expensive, so.
the county did one a few years ago. But it was like all encompassing. It took everything. If you had bad refrigerators, which are now impossible to get rid of, car batteries,
Yeah, paint.
painkillers.
Yeah, there's.
What-
Won't take any chemicals.
There's a lot.
They took them all, right? And that's something that I guess from the town of Kiowa standpoint, that if they did that and we're able to buddy up with them. And,
Yeah.
Maybe this is one of those things that we talked to Elizabeth
but I don't,
about.
I tell you, that deal of managing
Yeah.
it and managing it, taking the water bills easy, the unloading them, moving stuff, cause it's not, it won't fail. The third car full of shit, that whoever she bribed to load it is, this little feeble gal that could barely walk, and you're spending a half hour heaving stuff that you know.
But Elizabeth has issues with people that'll come get in line, clearly aren't residents there,
Oh,
and then they wanna argue and get kind of volatile.
Mhm.
Because they're told, get out of the line. I don't care how long you've been in the line, because that line is very long. And then they're sent off and they've had issues with that, and they have issues with if you don't have enough people standing there watching what people are putting in the dumpster. They will try to throw in there anything and everything and then jet out of there before.
Where is the
I'll do
Elizabeth
that
one?
part, I'm mean enough.
Over by, yeah, right?
I don't, where do they have that one, Elizabeth? Do you know?
I think they did it down by the parking lot.
They do it over by my friend's house, which is over by the town shop that's off of Washington.
Okay, to the,
Well, this could be, maybe that's something we talk to Michelle about and see if we come together, the two towns, the two municipalities, and we have it at the fairgrounds. I don't know, but that could be a viable option when you're bringing two entities together and volunteers from both to do
it
it.
would be nice if they would take old stoves and refrigerators and, because that's what I see in backyards.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
You can,
There are companies though that haul those off, they pay you to haul them off.
well, I know that
Because
the
you can go
people,
to a scrapyard and get paid for them.
I guess it's just the people, getting the people to bring it.
Mhm.
Well,
Okay.
we called DAV when we had stuff here that we needed to get rid of. I put it on Facebook Marketplace, and I do porch pickups at town hall. I'm like, it'll be outside on the porch.
yep.
We're not working today, but you're free to come by and take it off my porch if you want to.
Yeah.
And if you don't, the guys are gonna load it up on Monday and they're gonna drive it into Parker and give it to the Ark. So,
So could you send that information to us?
Yeah.
So we can
Yeah.
talk about getting on the, because I'm already on the volunteer committee. And see how.
event planning committee?
Event planning committee, thank you. I'm a volunteer already, but
Yeah, but
anyway,
I can guarantee you, Jay and Erica are not gonna want anything to do with that.
no, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Just send it to us, we'll see.
and I'll
who
talk
we
to
can-
Elizabeth and see what they think too.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. I think that's a really good idea.
I think it's needed.
I
Yes.
think.
I think it's terribly needed.
Very beneficial.
But as far as coordinating that and figuring out how to make it work logistically, I can't figure that out right now,
Okay.
not without more help.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mona, that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, I think it's a great suggestion.
Alrighty, anything else? Anybody have anything else? Okay,
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
alright. Everybody,
So was that Jonathan Bailey?
yes, Jonathan and Bailey, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Aye.
8:56.
That's fine then.
I don't want to go outside when it's cold, that's what I don't want to do.